that I was just like,
well, hello.
I was just like,
We found the exact moment when Blake Lively's downfall began, and her biggest mess up isn't what you think it is. You're probably thinking of that interview. You know, the one where she acted like Kirsty Flay didn't exist?
first of all, congrats on your little bump.
Congrats on your little bump.
What about
Rude? Absolutely. But not the real moment her downfall started, because one bad interview doesn't tank a Hollywood darling's reputation. But a pattern can do crazy damage. From body-shaming comments caught on mic and a history of racist remarks to openly siding with a famous cheater. I dug deep into her old interviews and landed on the exact moment Blake started losing millions of fans. So let me share these moments with you one by one, starting with the insensitive dig at Leighton Meester. If there's one thing about Blake, it's that she always manages to turn what could have been a harmless joke into something straight up cruel. Watch this clip from the 2008 Gossip Girl interview.
That was a lot of information about cages, and I'm sorry, I was still thrown off by that stuff.
He was like, wow.
Who else didn't want to act in a cage?
Well, some of them
And require a
started.
cage.
Yes.
Girl pointed directly at Leighton Meester and then just had to drop another joke about some of us started in a cage. Now, if you don't know why this is insanely messed up, Leighton was literally born while her mother was serving time in federal prison. Her early life was far from glamorous, and she's been open about how hard it was to get over her past. And yet Blake decided to turn that into a joke in public on camera? Jeez. What's worse is that this isn't the only moment she's taken a jab at a coworker. In the same interview, she calls her co-stars pet monkeys. Yup, pet monkeys.
Chuck has a matching pet monkey with coordinating outfits, and I was like, I would love to be part of the show, but I can't act with a monkey. And then I got a few of them. I'm just kidding.
She got a few of them.
Come on, it was a joke. Lord have mercy.
I wish I was making this up. It's giving casual cruelty. It's giving lack of awareness. It's giving I've never had to struggle a day in my life energy. No wonder she did so well in Gossip Girl. She was just being herself. But if you thought her biggest L was giving a journalist the cold shoulder or making jokes about coworkers, you couldn't be more wrong. Being racist. Let's go back to 2006 when Blake was still an up-and-coming actress. Here's an old interview where she casually admitted to doing blackface. Yes, she said it herself.
My best friend and I, when we were in 10th grade, we had like crazy crushes. We would drive around, like stalk these guys. We decided one night to go to the arcade where they were, and I put bronzer all over myself in a Scary Spice fro, so I thought they would think I was like a black girl, and so I could stalk them.
Yeah, that's an actual quote. Let that sink in. Like, what was the thought process here? The fact that she laughed it off in an interview like it was some quirky high school memory? Insane. Of course, the internet did not let this one slide. Take a look at these comments. This wasn't the only openly racist moment in her history. In 2012, Blake married Ryan Reynolds at Boone Hall, a former slave plantation in South Carolina. Yep, an actual plantation wedding. So at this point, it wasn't just one bad moment. It was a pattern that made people start seeing her in a very different light. Of course, it didn't help when the whole Hugh Jackman's love triangle thing happened. So Hugh Jackman ended his 27-year marriage to Deborah Lee Furness in September 2023, and not long after, he started hooking up with the Broadway star Sutton Foster. Now, here's where things get messy. Hugh and Sutton actually worked together in a musical back in 2002, and they kept denying any romantic involvement back then, but Deb always had her suspicions. Obviously, now she finally feels relieved that the truth is out. She's gotten her closure, but Blake being Blake just had to hop on the wrong side of this. She sided with Hugh. Yes, the cheater. Now, that in itself wasn't surprising to Deb, but what really stings is the fact that Blake and her husband didn't even give her a heads up. Both of them knew Hugh was sleeping with Sutton, but chose not to tell her. It's kinda crappy that Blake and Ryan didn't say a word, even though they saw it coming. Their silence obviously felt like a massive betrayal, especially given their tight friendship with Deb. Then came the Scarlett Johansson drama. Scarlett has made it very clear that she wants nothing to do with Blake. Back in 2008, Scarlett had just come off a high-profile breakup when she suddenly married Ryan Reynolds. The relationship was rocky from the start, and while they kept things quiet, rumors started going around that Ryan was controlling, insecure, and jealous of Scarlett's success. 2 years later, things started looking a lot more fishy. Ryan and Scarlett's marriage was already falling apart, but by the time they actually announced their divorce, Ryan was already being linked to Blake, who was, by the way, still dating Penn Badgley at the time. And this is where things got real weird. People started noticing that during press tours for Green Lantern, Ryan and Blake's chemistry was a little too natural. And while Ryan denied ever cheating, crew members had a different story.
It's hard not to love the movie because you guys are so beautiful to watch that I was just like,
Well, hello. You have a bodyguard? Wow.
I'm a huge deal.
Yeah, man. Wow. I love it. Nice.
Now take a look at this deleted tweet by Kat Marnell. Fun fact, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds hooked up when RR was still married to ScarJo and holed up in a NOLA hotel room during the Green Lantern, and US Weekly had discovered this, and their beauty editor would tell us this at events and about how RR and BL teams threats squashed the story. So yeah, by the time Scarlett and Ryan finalized their divorce, Little Miss Blake was already by his side. Scarlett never directly called them out, but she did later say that dating actors can be difficult because some people can't handle when their partner's career is more successful than theirs. Ouch. And the tension between Blake and Scarlett still exists. They've never been seen together at Hollywood events, and despite being in the same industry for years, they've never come together on a single project. Now, given everything else we've talked about so far, it's clear Blake's Hollywood reputation has taken too many L's. Since she's already done irreparable damage to her PR, why stop now? And so we have the Justin Baldoni accusations. Y'all, this woman sued Justin Baldoni for and things took a turn she did not see coming. I mean, hear me out. One of her accusations against Justin was literally something that the character does in the book, and he was just acting it out. She thought Justin kissing her neck was when in the book, his character has to kiss her neck. What's next, Blake? Suing the sun for shining too bright? Honestly, you guys, Blake did not even read the book that she was supposed to be acting out, and that's extremely disrespectful, as we know many actors go above and beyond to research their roles, but Blake seemingly skipped that step. And as you can guess, it did not go well for her. The Baldoni lawsuit backfires. In her lawsuit, Blake claimed that Baldoni body-shamed her on set and made inappropriate comments about her appearance. But Baldoni didn't just deny it. That man came ready for battle. According to his legal team, it was actually Blake who made derogatory comments about Baldoni, specifically joking about his nose and even suggesting he get plastic surgery. Here's what they said. Lively took them out of character again and began to joke about Baldoni's nose, which he laughed off and joked in turn, even as Lively joked that he should get plastic surgery. This is especially messed up because Baldoni has publicly spoken about how much he struggles with body dysmorphia, even addressing it on his podcast, Man Enough. So Blake making fun of his biggest insecurities? Yeah, you can guess for yourself why that's especially bad. And here's a fun surprise. It reads, Lively's comment about Baldoni's nose is also captured on camera, the lawsuit read. Baldoni, rather than write down a list of grievances against Lively, brushed it off and moved on with the scene.
Just gotta shut down. We gotta call an insurance month and just deal with that.
Yeah.
And then,
Gut.
just kidding.
No, it's true. That's why we hired Jenny Slate too. Our nose.
So, in other words, Blake's accusations had about zero chance of holding up in court. Of course, Baldoni was going to take advantage of that, so he hit back with a $250 million lawsuit against the New York Times, claiming their reporting on Blake's allegations was false and defamatory. His legal team even accused her of manipulating the media for personal gain. Check it out. Lively and her team attempted to bulldoze reputations and livelihoods for heinously selfish reasons through their own dangerous manipulation of the media. At this point, the damage was done. What started as an attempt to take down Baldoni had completely backfired, making Blake look like a silly little idiot who was willing to weaponize serious accusations. And honestly, this was the final straw for a lot of people. The future for Blake. The internet has a long memory, and with all these negative aura points stacking up, the cracks in her America's sweetheart image are starting to show. And with her upcoming projects and public appearances, it'll be very interesting to see if she acknowledges the backlash or just pretends none of this ever happened. I'll be real, siding with a cheater, throwing around casual racism, and getting caught up in lawsuits, not exactly the Hollywood fairy tale she's been selling. Got me thinking Blake's just a real-life Gossip Girl villain at this point. Poor Ryan. Do you think he's somewhere regretting his life choices, or is he just focused on making another Deadpool movie to distract himself? And more importantly, do you think Blake's cooking up a massive apology in her notes app right now? Let us know in the comments below, and if you love a little celebrity drama, make sure to hit that subscribe button and check out our next video, because trust me, you don't want to miss this one.